difficult all throughout the 5 boroughs and into New Jersey, but we are ready for football nonetheless at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Let's go now.
Barkley, inside handoff. Nifty move. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Rolling to his right. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
Let's go.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A snap to Lawrence as he taps this forward. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Evan touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At their own 21.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And right away, he lost the football. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Here's Wilson to throw. And he'll find Hall. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action with Wilson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt.
Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Now a hit and a loose football. Inside the 20. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. But here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Lawrence going to keep it again. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. Touchdown, Jaguars. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Berrios now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with the W.
From the 27, Wilson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade and and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Patterson now for the extra point.
Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On second down, a run with Hall.
And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. On the return, here's Agnew. He stiff arms him. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
And just a yard to go here on second down. Play action. It's Lawrence.
He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Lawrence will throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Rock it. Hey, dude. Hey, Scarlett.
Barkley off tackle left. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on 3rd.
Hey, keep it.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards that time.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! Evan Ingram. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Jaguars have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line, as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson.
This pass out wide.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Jags grab it.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
Let's go now.
A first down carry for Barkley.
Down to about the 37.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Barkley on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Let's go.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11.
Let's go.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Yep.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and that'll keep this a 22-point game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
Down.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here we go.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Yeah,
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Second down, here's Barkley again. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Come on.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7. General West.
Lawrence from his end zone. And that will be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's Logan Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Chopper! Chopper! Exit!
Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall. Fighting his way in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jets get a bit closer. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will cut the lead down to 15. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And that's why he's one of the best running backs in the game today, because this run combined all the elements. Started with patience, and he was just waiting for the right lane to materialize. Then once he saw it, he used his speed and escapability in tandem and turned this into a tremendous play.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Wilson. That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure to give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now here's a loose football, and the Jags grab it. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Inside the 20. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
66. Throw it hard.
Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turning.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 43-yard line.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
They run behind center with Cotter. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync. And the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Hey, Alpha.
Lawrence. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Patterson's kick is good, but there is a penalty marker down. They might be forced to try this one again. And that flag accepted. So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone.
Hey, box up, box up. Go, go. Ready.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram. on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Red, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Play action. Now Wilson.
Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. His throw incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
They go play action now. Wilson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And the Jags grab it past the 20. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
All again on second down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 60 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
They'll toss it out right here to Hall.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack. Going to stop him short of the first. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. There's Wilson to throw.
He's got
puts it on the carpet. It's out, and the Jags grab it. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Let's go now. Fire.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. Gets past one man. 135 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop his shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turned him loose.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run wide side here with Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Right back to Connor here on first. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game. When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line? Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the 2nd half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
Berrios now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They go play action with Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front seven. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Connor up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he will dive trying to get the 1st down, but it looks like he's going to be marked down just short. A nice run leaves him just inches from a 1st. Could they possibly be tempted to try this on 4th and about a foot?
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Set, ready?
Switch.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Now Wilson on 1st down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the score, dashing through the snow. And he goes diving to get as much as he can, following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 52 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11.
Delta.
Throwing is Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
And this one is incomplete. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Ready.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He's stopped in his tracks by Ahmad Gardner.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We're facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Agnew now to return. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
At their own 44-yard line.
Let's go now.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
On third down, it's Connor. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On third down, here's Hall. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Jaguars, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.